I didn't want to make this video, but I can't handle this anymore. I don't want to live anymore. I can't handle it. I tried, but I can't. I don't have the strength. I don't want to stay anymore. I love my son and my family, but I can't handle this. And I'm frightened. I'm scared. I don't know who to reach out to. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm very worried about everything. Why is this happening? I don't understand it. I don't understand what's going on anymore. Nothing makes sense. Why is it happening? Why? I don't understand it. I don't. How could people let this happen? I wish I knew how to fight this. I don't know anymore. I really don't. I tried. I warned people. I got into arguments with people about this. I was very frightened ever since this happened. I knew that we were not going to make good, that he was going to be evil, destroy everything good about this country. I tried to write, I tried to have courage, but I don't have courage anymore. I just can't handle it. I try. I worry for Matthew. I want him to live in a normal country. I don't like what I'm seeing. I can't handle it anymore. I can't. It's not right. Oh my God, I wish I could do something about it. I don't know. We have the smartest people in this country, people that went to Harvard, people went to big schools, Ivy League schools, who don't know what the hell is happening. How could this happen? We know what happens when things like this, when evil takes over. We saw it we weren't alive, but it happened in Germany back in World War II. Why does anybody want to subscribe to that? That's evil. I'm a good person. I've always tried to be good. I've always been a sensitive soul. And I'm grateful to all the people that worry for me and care, but I don't have the strength to fight anymore. I didn't even think I'd be here. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to witness this. I didn't want to witness this. My father was a proud Navy man. He's rolling in his grave. He can't imagine, he would never think that this could happen here. One evil man and the whole government falling apart because of cronies who don't care. They don't care about the country. They care about power. They care about, I don't know what they care about. They don't care what I care about. They don't represent me. They don't make laws that protect people like myself. They used to. We did have a good president. We had President Biden. I could sleep at night. I was worried that we were going to have this happen. I warned people. I got into arguments with people. Nobody listened to me. I am so scared. I've never felt so scared in all my life. I've never thought I'd be scared of the president of this country. Like those people, those two black women, like those two black women who were volunteer voting registration people who help people vote. And they were threatened by the president. And one lady said, I never thought that I'd have to be afraid of the president. That the president was coming for me, she said. And I am feeling not to the degree that she felt that, but I'm scared. And I don't know how to get away from this evil. I'm not evil. I'm a good person. I care about people. They're dismantling agencies. They're dismantling U.S. aid that helped starving children in the world. They got rich billionaires that don't care. They just care about wealth and power. And they're destroying everything about this country. And how is it that it's happening? How can people stand by? How can the courts let this happen? I know the courts are fighting, but they're going to get overwhelmed. And the Supreme Court let this guy have all the power. And it's not right. It is not right. Power for what? To destroy? That's not a world, a country, a place I want to live in. And even if I move out of the country, I can't deal with the separation from my family, my cats, my son, my family. I know if I end my life, that's not good either, but I don't want to be here. I don't want to witness this anymore. I'm tired. I attempted suicide, but I was saved. I don't have the strength or the courage to go on anymore. I don't have anybody. I'm all alone in a way. And I can't handle this. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. It's not fair that this is happening. I'm struggling mentally, emotionally, financially. I love my cat and my son, and I would never want to put them in a bad situation. But I don't know what to do anymore. I don't have the strength or the courage. I don't know why this is happening. It's like a nightmare that never ends. And I don't know why people voted for it. I didn't want anything to do with this. But now we're living through it. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I wish I could help in a way. My writings help me cope, but I just don't have the strength. I don't have the courage to fight anymore. I'm tired. I can't do this. Oh my God, I pray. I ask for God to help us in this situation. I always ask God to help in this situation. I always ask God to help me in my life. I've lived 64 years. I've always tried my best. I'm not perfect. I never claim to be perfect. But I believe in right and wrong. I believe in good and evil. I believe good always wins over evil, but I'm not seeing that. I'm trying to survive. I'm trying my best, keeping my mind busy, trying, but I can't do it. I'm just so depressed. Depression is not good. Nobody really knows what depression is and how it hurts people. I've lived with depression my whole life, and it's hard. I lost my dad to suicide. The anniversary is coming up. He took his life on April 16, 2009. 2 years to the date of the terrible, tragic shootings at Virginia Tech. That happened on April 16, 2007. A school that I studied mechanical engineering at back in the 80s, early 80s. My dad, I remember when he called me when I was working, and he told me to check out the news. He told me that they had killed 32 people at Virginia Tech, a school that I used to work on, a campus. Good people. That's another issue that I worry about. Gun violence in this country. Why is there such gun violence? Why such hate? It's horrible. It's sad. It's tragic. My mom's anniversary of her death is coming up too. March 21st, 1990. I miss my mom too, and my dad. They were good people. They suffered though. I'm suffering too. I've always wanted the best for my son, always. I didn't want this horrible situation, but I feared it. I worried that it could happen, and now it is happening. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fight it. I don't know how to survive this. I don't know. I wish I had answers, but I don't. I wish good could always prevail over evil, but it doesn't. I don't know how to resolve these problems that we are facing. I have my own problems. I can't take on the problems of a country. I just want peace, like my son always says. Maddie is such a good kid, and he always asks God for peace in that world. The tragedies of war, Gaza, all those poor people suffering, and an egomaniac who wants to take over Gaza and make it into a resort. He's got no heart, no conscience. He's pure evil. And Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, and they're trying to have Ukraine be, they're gonna pillage Ukraine. They're not gonna allow Ukraine to flourish like it once tried to do. They're gonna take it. They have destroyed so many lives, killed so many people. This is not a world that I want to live in. This is not a country that I want to live in. This is not my country. I don't value this. I hate this. I want good people to lead my country. I want caring people. I vote and I don't have a voice, it seems, because the whole system is not working right. I wish I knew how to make things better. I have a heart. I'm a compassionate person. I want only good in the world, but that's Pollyanna. That's not real. Because man hates. It's part of his nature. It's not ever going to get any better if we can't agree to work together with people to help the most vulnerable. Why is it that the rich need big tax cuts? That's not going to help us. They want to make the deficit more unmanageable by giving trillions of tax cuts to the people that don't need them, while they take away food from starving children. What kind of a world is that? What kind of a country is this that would allow that to happen? My mom always taught me you help out people in need. You do right by others. You share. We're not seeing that anymore. Our country is falling apart. And we're watching it happen. And I can't do that anymore. I can't stand witness to this. It's too heartbreaking. It's devastating. And it's really affecting me terribly. I just wish sometimes I could just go to sleep. I'm so damn down and depressed. And I miss my mom and dad that are in the background. I miss them. They were good people. Worked hard. Taught me right from wrong. Taught me to try to live a good life. I need them now more than ever. I'm so sad and heartbroken. And I don't know what to do anymore. I just don't know. I called 988 yesterday. I talked to a friend on Facebook. I chatted. She was helpful to me. Nice person. I chatted with some people on Facebook who have the same ideologies as I do, that we should fight this evil, that we should stand together, united, that we should stand strong. But my courage, I don't know how to take on this. I'm just trying to make a life for myself. I still have a mortgage. I depend on Social Security. I'm worried that they're going to take that away. If they cut that, I won't be able to make my mortgage payments. My son is in a group home. If they cut funding to our education, Long Island is prided on its public education. Our house values are valued because of that. And if you take that away, you destroy our neighborhoods. You defeat what is good about this area that I live in. Public education is important. We need a thriving public education system. If we don't have that, we're in trouble. I pay high real estate taxes because of the public education here in Levittown, New York. And I'm willing to pay those taxes. But if you stop funding, the government stops funding, that means the burden falls on us, the taxpayer. My real estate taxes are high enough and I don't even get a full write-off of the deduction on my tax return anymore. I can't afford to have another increase in my taxes, and a substantial one at that. If you take away funding of public education, if the government is going to have public education department taken away, we are going to feel it. Neighborhoods are going to feel it. Not just my neighborhood, neighborhoods in New York, all of Long Island, even in the whole country. But our real estate taxes are very high. Very high. And I can't pay higher than what I'm already paying. It's affecting me up here. I can't do it. I'm just so sad and devastated. And I don't know what to make of it anymore. I have diabetes. I almost died. I was in a diabetic coma in 2020. And doctors saved my life. Nurses, paramedics. They didn't want me to die. They brought me back from the dead. I was in a coma for nearly 2 weeks. drugs. In 2019, I had a suicide attempt right before my birthday, overdose, and they brought me back. It saved my life. In 2019, I had a car accident. My car was totaled. My brakes failed. I couldn't stop. I swerved away. And from hitting a car in front of me, I swerved to my right, hit the curb, went airborne and crashed into a tree. I survived. Good Samaritans came and pulled me out of my car. My car was totaled. A Prius. A Toyota Prius 2017 model. Only had it for 2 years. Then recently, after the results of the election, I overdosed. I tried to kill myself again. But I survived because people didn't want me to die. Paramedics saved me. Doctors and nurses saved me too. But I'm suffering. I need help. I don't know what to do. I remember the story of Tommy Raskin. Jamie Raskin's a congressman, I believe, in Maryland. And he's a good man. He's a crusader for good. He's a constitutional attorney. And he's actively involved in politics. He represents the state of Maryland. I apologize for this. My insulin pump. And I believe 2017, I'm not sure the year. I think it was around the election time. And Tommy was telling his dad he was concerned about things. He loved animals. He was a lawyer, student, studying at Harvard Law School. He was a good student, a good kid, a good brother to his 2 sisters, and a good son to his mom and dad. And sadly, I think it was New Year's Eve, Tommy Raskin took his life. He took his life. He said depression won. And he wanted people to know that he loved them. And he wanted people to continue to believe the good things that he believed in, helping the less fortunate, helping animals. I write stories about animals. I'm working on my book about animals. I wrote 2 children's books that I self-published, that I wish I could find a way to publish. One is about a boy who's 14. He lost his father 4 years earlier. His father died. And he withdraws from the world. He goes to school, but he doesn't make friends. He lives a life of a loner, basically. And his mother's very worried about him. And he's a runner. He has a talent. He likes to run. But he runs for himself, nobody else. He's not involved in a team. And one day when he's coming home from school, he sees a dog in the pet shop in the window. And he falls in love with the dog. He says to his mom he wants a dog. And his mom really wants to reach him and help him. So she goes with him the next day to the pet shop. And she sees how that dog touches him. The bond of a boy and his dog. And she says her heart feels whole because she always wanted something for her son. And she goes to buy the dog for her boy and all of the necessary things that accompany that. And they're so happy. They bring the dog home. And the dog just changes his life. He misses his father, but he's got a friend now. A friend who he takes responsibility for caring for. And she sees the changes in his life. And she's so happy. And he's happy. And that dog makes his life better. And he becomes very responsible. He takes care of that dog. And he goes back to school with a new purpose. He joins the track team. He talks to the girls now. He never answered questions in the classroom. Now he volunteers answers. And then in the end, he goes with his mother to the cemetery to tell his father how he's doing okay, that he misses his father, but he's doing okay. And he brings his dog and he prays by the grave. And his mom holds him, puts her hand on his shoulder, and the dog sits up. And it's just a beautiful story of a boy and his dog. And I hope to publish that. I paid a good price. I paid for self-publishing it. But I would like to get that story out there. And I wrote another story about a girl, 8 years old, with her 3-year-old brother. And her mom is a nurse, and her father's a carpenter. And the father, while going to work, takes the subway, and the mother goes to the hospital where she works at as a nurse, and they get swept up in 2 raids. They're undocumented. The kids are born in the States, the 8-year-old girl and the 3-year-old boy. And she finds out at school. She writes in her diary every day. And she felt scared to leave her mom and dad, go to school, and leave the house, knowing that her parents would go to work. And she was afraid that, given the climate that we're living in, with immigration and undocumented. So she was worried. And her worries became real when the principal came to tell the teacher in the classroom that she needed to speak to Becky. That's the name of the girl, Becky. And her parents are from a country that has strong cultural bond. And Becky realizes her nightmare is happening when she is told that both her parents were swept up in a raid. And now Becky and the teacher finds out and lets her go into her safe place in the classroom. And then the aunt comes to pick up Becky and her brother at the daycare. And Becky's mission is to find out where her parents were taken. They make phone calls. They go to the library, the police department. She goes to the hospital where her mom worked to try to get information. Her aunt is very accommodating, trying to help her. Becky's always writing in her diary. And then Becky needs to find people in a network to try to help her. And she writes a letter to the mayor in New Jersey where she lives. And then she works with an immigration attorney and an immigrant advocate, trying to track down where her parents are. And then she finally, through the education of these professionals, she's able to track down where her parents are, and she goes. And then they have a meeting, and she sees her parents. And she's all excited, but she's worried. And they have to have a hearing in the courts. And she raises awareness, and the liaison, the woman who is trying to help her, arranges her to speak to explain what happens. And then Becky learns about the system, and she really wants to be there and support her mom and dad through this. And the parents are set free because of the bond hearing. The judge allows them to go, but they have to see someone in the system they have to report to. And they're working to get an attorney to represent them. So Becky is so swept up in all that she decides she's going to dedicate her life to helping others similar. And she wants to go to law school, college first. And it's a story about a young girl who grows into young adulthood, and her mission is to help people like her parents so she can help contribute. And I think those are two good stories that I'm trying to shop around. And I'm just trying to find hope and try to survive this, but I don't know how. I'm very worried. And all I can do is have hope. And I worry for Matthew, my son, my cats, who I love. I have 3 of them. Oreo, Cookie, and Tuxedo. They're wonderful cats. I'm sorry about my pump. I have diabetes. Well, anyway, I talked a lot. I expressed my emotions. And I just pray. I pray for our country. I pray for peace in the world. I pray for the suffering, the hungry. I just hope that things get better. It's what I want. I want peace. I wish there was a way we could find that. I want my America back, a good America. And America has problems, I know that. America has been very bad to minorities, to people of color. We have a bad history. America has a terrible history with racism. I'm not saying America is great. It's not. America has a terrible history. People persecuted, suffering. But we had movements. We had good people in our past. We had Martin Luther King. We had John F. Kennedy. We had Medgar Evers. Emmett Till was a boy that was treated horribly and was killed just for being an innocent boy of color who was brutally murdered. We have terrible things that happen in this country. John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Martin Luther King was assassinated. John F. Kennedy's brother, Robert Kennedy Sr., was assassinated. We have a terrible history, but we also have a history where we tried to make the best. We tried to make improvements. The civil rights movement. We can make things better for people. That's what I want. I don't want to live this life, this horror, this nightmare. I want to see good in this world. in my country. America is supposed to be a strong country and help other countries, help other people. But that's not happening now. America's become very different, and I don't want to be part of that. I don't agree with that. I want good. And I'm not naive, but in a way I am. Because I'm praying for that, but I don't know if that'll ever be again. But I try to do what I can. And by writing, that helps me. And I'm grateful to all of you who do read my writings and who do comment and who also wish me well. I understand, I know, I see. I'm not trying to hurt people. I love people. I want to be there for people. And I'm grateful that they're there for me. I'm sad. And I want good. I want to live in a better place. I could do this video and try to talk to people, and maybe we can all come together. That would be my dream, that we help each other, not fight with each other. That's what I hope for. I gotta go now, but I'm thankful for many things, but I'm scared too, and I wish for better. We could be better. That's what I'm asking for. I wish our country could be better too. I'm gonna try my best. I'm asking for people to try their best. And let's do good. We can do better. America can do better. Let's strive for that. Thank you.